Hi, it's Rosie from Cake Masters, and today's video is using border molds from Marvelous Molds. I'm just going to run through some of the border molds that they have in the range. The first one is a Pretty in Pleats mold, which is a lovely fabric effect with a nice little bit of lace detail down the middle. The second one is the Mod mold, very modern, very Art Deco. The third one that they have is the Unity mold, which is my favourite. Lots of lovely detail on this one. And the last one is the Giza mold. So before I do the demo, I just wanted to show you some pieces that I've made beforehand to show you the detail that you can get from these lovely border molds. So the first one is the Pretty in Pleats mold, and I've chosen two colours. One colour for the pleated fabric and one colour for the lace detail down the centre. The next one I'm going to show you is the Mod mold, which is very modern, and you can see the impressions really stand out on this mold. The next one is the Unity mold, and my favourite. You can really see the larger dots and the smaller dots detailing on this mold. I'm actually going to be using this mold in the demo, so you'll see how fantastic it looks round the cake in the end. The next is the Giza mold, which are like small square raised studs. And again, this would just look lovely round a cake. The first mold I'm going to show you is the Unity mold. I'm just rolling out some blue gum paste on my dusted board. Just going to roll it out long to the shape of the actual mold. So you can see that it's not too thin, probably about 2 millimeters thick. Now these molds from Marvelous Molds have a great cutting edge. I'm just dusting the mold, and I'm going to shake off any excess because you only need a very thin layer of cornstarch for the molds. I'm just going to now place the gum paste on top, making sure the whole design is covered. Then I'm just going to gently push down the gum paste into the detail of the mold. You really can be quite firm at this stage because you want the detail to transfer onto the gum paste. I'm just going to take my rolling pin now and roll over the top of the mold, and as you can see, the cutting blades in the mold get rid of all of the excess gum paste. Just taking away the excess now. The blades are actually the best thing about this product, and it just really helps quickly get rid of any excess paste. So I'm just going to spend a little time now pushing down the gum paste into the detail of the mold because I want that beautiful design to be transferred onto the gum paste once I take the paste out. So I'm just going around all the individual links, pushing down quite firmly. And using a scribe tool, I'm going to get rid of the excess paste in the windows. Now the windows have been incorporated into the molds so that when you're actually putting it on a cake, that colour of the cake will come through the border molds. To make sure I have the perfect edge, I'm going to just use the edge of the mold to push down onto the gum paste. This just means that I can get a perfect edge to my border. Just going to go all the way round, pushing the edge of the mold, which is slightly raised, onto the gum paste. Just going to do the inside windows now. For the inside windows, you push out onto the gum paste to make sure each window has a perfect edge. And that's just the last one there. Right, so now I'm going to flex the mould. My fingers are underneath the mould and my thumbs are on the lip of the mould. I'm just teasing the gum paste out. You can see that it is pretty much ready to come out. Just clear a bit of space here so I can turn the mould upside down, and I'll just tease the gum paste out. There we are. You can see we have a perfect border mould. I'm just going to dust away some excess cornstarch. Then I'll hold it up so you can actually see the beautiful detail that has transferred across onto this lovely Unity mould. There we are. Beautiful. Now I am going to put my gum paste border around my cake. I'm just going to apply a little bit of edible glue to the back of the border, and then I will place on my cake. These borders have been made in accordance to measurements of circles, so they will fit perfectly around a round cake. So now I'm just going to place my gum paste mould onto my cake. And the great thing about these designs on these moulds is that you can't see where a piece starts and where it finishes. So it just looks all that much better around your cake. So as you can see, I've got quite a few of these pieces, but you can't see where the join is. Brilliant stuff. There we are. The next mould I'm going to show you is the Pretty in Pleats mould. This is one of my favourites, and I think a lot of people like this mould because of the fabric effect that you can get. I've just rolled out a very thin piece of blue gum paste. I'm just going to place that down the centre of the mould. The centre of the mould is where the lace detailing is showed, and I think it looks quite good when you're using two different colours. So I'm going to use blue for the lace part and then pink for the pleats. So I'm just pushing down quite firmly into the detail of the lace part of the mould. So really pushing down. It's important to use quite a thin piece of gum paste here, because if you use too much, then the blue will spread onto the pleats part of the design, and you don't really want that. Really push down, make sure it's nice and secure. What I'm doing here is sort of pinching the gum paste just to make sure that the blue detail doesn't bleed into the remaining pleat design. So now I'm going to roll out some pink gum paste, and again I'm going to roll it out in a long rectangle to fit the mould. There we are, that should be okay. And now just going to push down on the detail of the pleats. So again, push down quite firmly because you want those lovely folds to replicate onto the gum paste. Using the sides of my hands quite firmly down each side and the middle. Just going to grab my rolling pin, and then with short strokes, going to go over the top of the mould, and you'll see the cutting blades in action again, getting rid of that excess paste that you just don't need. Just doing the bottom end now. There we are. Take away all of the excess. Now, to make sure I have the perfect edge for my border, I'm just going to go round the edge of the mould and I'm going to push down the top edge on top of the gum paste, and this just again ensures that I have a perfect clean edge once the gum paste comes out of the mould. Just going all the way around, just pushing down just to make sure. I'm just going to flex the mould now with my fingers under the mould and my thumbs on the lip of the mould, and you can see that the gum paste is ready to come out. I'm just going to turn the mould over to tease the gum paste out, and it comes out in one go. Now I'm just going to hold this up so you can see the lovely fabric folds and the detailing down the middle. Just applied some edible glue to the back of my gum paste border, and now I'm going to put it around my cake. I mean, the two great things about these moulds, one is the fact that they have the cutting blade incorporated into the mould, and the second thing is that once the pieces go round your cake, you really can't see where the design starts and where it finishes. So there we have it, the border all the way around my cake. And here is the finished cake with some beautiful delicate flowers to finish off the top tier. Thank you for watching.